Because you think you can't do two things at one time. No, I don't think it would have hurt you emotionally to watch your baby cry for 40 minutes.
I don't think that.
You know what I like about successful people?
I don't think that.
You know what I like about successful people?
What's that?
We do not have to agree and we cool.
We don't. Now, check this out.
Yeah, bust that joint open. Cause you wake up at 2:38. I see that. That's a lesson.
Yeah, man, about 5-6 hours from now.
Yeah.
Why 2:38? Why not 2:35?
Because it has gradually kind of like moved back, and it's got to 2:38, and I kind of just
found a sweet spot.
Yeah, I kind of just like left it.
So you're saying it's not going to go to 2:37 or 2:36?
It could. Yeah, it could. Yeah, I don't have no.
I'm just trying to understand the method.
You wake up at 2:38 every day.
Yeah, man, heck yeah.
So as of right now, we're filming this. It is 8:30 at night.
Yeah, I'm getting close to where I'm supposed to be. Like
done,
ready to take it down.
Yeah. But we had to get a haircut.
Yeah, it's cool though. I mean, I'm like, if 10:30, I'm still functioning. I'm good. I'm straight. Right. 10:30. If I can get to sleep and I'm straight, I'm good.
Why do you get up so early?
Well, one is I done lost a bunch of time in prison.
You getting it back?
Yeah, I mean, only way I can truly get it back, and here's my philosophy, and nobody might not agree with me, is if I get it back on the back end, where I live a little longer. And that's kind of one of the reasons why health is like a core value of mine. So if I can live 10 extra years, then,
so you go past like, what was it, 76, 77 now or something like that?
So now think about it, like life expectancy of a black man is probably like 66 or something like that.
Is it that low?
Yeah, it's like 66 or something like that, right? That ain't a lot though. That ain't, trust me, it ain't a lot. 66, right? So think about how we're programmed and conditioned with information from society, right? Because we have no culture, to sleep for 8 hours a day. Right. 8 hours is a third of the day, which is a third of our life. If I spent 10 years already of my life on the sideline, you think I'm gonna still come out here, be programmed to sleep a third of my life away when I'm already behind? It's literally not gonna happen. So I've programmed myself to basically say that I'm good off of 5 hours. I got like a third of that third back. I mean, that makes sense. I almost got half of the time back.
Yeah.
So just from I reset on the weekends though. On the weekend, I'm literally able to sleep for like 7 hours. So on the weekend, when you look at my alarm, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and still go to bed at like 10 o'clock at night. So I still give me 7 hours now. When you go from 4 to 7, it's like almost double. Yeah. So you know what I mean? I kind of reset during that time. But
that's dope.
Is it the healthiest? Maybe I don't recommend it. I don't know. But I actually did get a chance to talk to a sleep doctor one time. I did this. He was like this. I don't know. He was really top in his field, high in his field, and we did this fashion show together. We were like the people that were highlighted in the joint. And I just was like, yo, I don't care that you're not working or not. I got to pick your brain about this stuff. Because I actually sit in rooms and tell this story, and people are super highly educated, and I don't want to kind of be up there giving out misinformation about, what I got going on. But he did say it's subjective. So I was like, boom, I'm running with my, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I literally be feeling like, I can't just say anything to the people that I'm in front of.
That's dope.
So,
That's dope. I want to say real quick, welcome to the Endgame podcast. I'm Rod Brown.
I'm Max Maxwell.
And I'm him.
I'm him.
That's what I'm
Yo,
about.
I've been wearing this this ring, bro. I was talking about I was actually talking to my wife and one of her friends, Zane. Zane was in town this week. You met her.
Yes.
Both of y'all met her. Zane is insane. Comedian.
Character.
Yes. So I was just talking about some of the things we talk about, like having a well-rounded life, and as far as like, personal life, business life, health life, spiritual life, like having those things put together, right?
Those wheels.
And so I was talking about like as a man that for most men, including myself, when you start to get older, for me personally, I'm gonna speak for myself here for a second. Yeah. When you start to get older, your sex drive starts to go down. Like, so for example, I remember like 2 years ago, I was just working. This is what I was like, I need grinding. I started getting tired more during the day, and I was like, yo, why I gotta take a nap? I sound like Lynch right there, didn't I?
You did. You went high. You high pitched. You high pitched.
Yo, get away. I'm gonna take a break from you for a couple days, bro.
It's all good.
I said, so I was like, I gotta take it. I feel like I gotta take a nap. And so I went to the specialist that did a testosterone test and all that stuff like that. And my testosterone was low. She was like, this is why. She was like, you a little unhealthy. What you eat, you don't be exercising as much. So your testosterone kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. I was like, cool, what I got to do to get it back? Because at this point, you're financially secure. You know, I wasn't married at that point, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, I want to get back, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
I want to feel like I'm 21 again. I got money. I want to feel like I'm 21. Right. How do I biohack? And so I was trying to find ways to biohack my way back into being the best I can be, right? Money wasn't an issue. I pay for whatever I got to pay to. Right. I ain't gonna do nothing crazy like no surgeries or nothing, but like you take my blood work, run my blood once a year, figure out where I'm at today versus, the next 12 months, all that stuff. And so she was like, well, we can get you some testosterone therapy or test. And she was like, do you have kids? I was like, no. She was like, do you want some? I said, yeah. She said, okay, we can't do that.
Can't do it. Right.
She said, don't do that. I said, all right, cool. She said,
dependent on it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what she was saying.
Go ahead.
And so I didn't do it. And she was like, go work out and get healthy again. And I was like, damn. She was like, that's it. That's
because
like
your body produces it naturally.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And when you stop producing it, it's because you haven't done the things to actually, get those hormones released and things like that.
So I had to like pull that away. Like I had to figure out, and this is where I'm at now, where I'm trying to like biohack my way into, okay, Lynch, I want to feel like I'm here. How do I get there? I want to get here. I need, and I'm not like taking like no physical shortcuts. Right. What is the most effective way for me to get to that point?
So the dope part about it is now that you've standardized actually exercising. Like now it's like if you don't come, I
feel away.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel away.
That is the thing we got to standardize before we optimize in anything we do, right? Yeah. So here's what I do now. Now it's like, I did this diet before with a dude. He was like a bodybuilder type of guy. And me and my wife were going, I think, to maybe like the Bahamas or something like that. And like we were like, we're about to go and we're gonna be right when we go. And I got this diet. This is the diets that you all get now. Y'all don't, but I paid like crazy money for this guy to kind of accountability and be on me and tweak my stuff and stuff like that. And it was super dope because he asked me a question where it was like, do you wake up rock? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was, I know that's kind of, vulgar or whatever.
These were three men talking. These are things we talk about.
Right. And it was like, man, well, not on the regular. You know what I mean? So once I started doing the diet, and literally the vegetables that were in the diet were asparagus and spinach literally, I started waking up like I was 17 again. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Yo, don't forget it. So I don't know, this might be a lot of information too, but my wife had one fallopian tube, right? Remember, my baby's only, my baby's what, 2.5, 2 years.
Most adorable thing, bro. Right. When work out, like my wife was like, "Ooh, look at the baby, baby fever." I'm like,
I know, one of y'all was like this. One of y'all was like, oh.
I mean, she cute.
You're looking at her like, okay, I'm glad you're having fun, but let's go.
Like,
slow that down. Slow that down.
But so check though. Like I'm 46, so that means like we just had a baby.
Yeah.
Like so, think about it. Like we most people is done by now.
Yeah.
Correct.
But when you live in a healthy lifestyle and stuff like that, then you can defy the odds. Like one fallopian tube. Like her name Legacy, because she like damn near miracle baby. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't do no in vitro, we didn't do none of that stuff.
Just live a good, healthy life on purpose.
That's it, man.
Most men don't need like ED pills. You want to increase your sex drive, lose 40 pounds and lift weights.
That's it, right?
I'm a witness. You want to increase your sex drive, lose 40 pounds and lift weights. and it comes back, like you said, it comes back naturally.
So
And have a good day.
get back what I was saying. I've been wearing this ring. I forget the name. It's like an Aura or something like that ring.
Right.
And so it's got all these computer stuff in here in the finger part. And so because I don't be wearing the Apple Watch like I can. Plus you got to charge the Apple Watch at night now.
Wow.
So
that's
this
giving
thing,
you
it's giving me my, so it tracks my sleep. It tracks my activity for the days. So the main reason I got it was I wanted to make sure I got the proper sleep. Right. And so how much REM, how much deep sleep, all this stuff like that. Yeah. So you don't need the full.
Right. You got to get in REM.
My problem was I was only hitting REM. My problem was I was only hitting REM about 23 minutes a night.
Wow.
So the problem with what I do is that the older I get, the longer it actually takes you to get into REM. And that's why like my little 4 or 5 hour window that I'm talking about is problematic because I'm not really getting in. I may not be.
What's a full sleep cycle? Is that like 4 hours?
That's what they say. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff about it, right?
Because you're supposedly you got to have a full sleep cycle in order for your body to do what it needs to do while you're asleep.
Like I've read some information before where it was like it's 4 hours or whatever, and then sometimes like 6 or 7 don't matter anyway. Like the 6 or 7 hours that you're getting don't matter because you don't get the full.
It's not the proper
cycle.
Right.
But I mean, then I'll read other stuff. And from there, I was just like, the doctor was like, yo, some people sleep 8 and it's too much.
Right.
And then they ain't functioning right.
Or they sleep 8 and it's not helping.
It didn't help them.
Yeah.
I know y'all don't care, but I'm going to tell you.
I actually care what you're about to say.
Yeah. So they gives you a sleep score every morning. And so before I read the sleep score, I assess myself when I wake up and see how I feel. I feel energized and it be matching.
That's good.
Right? So last night I got an hour and 18 minutes of REM. But I was in deep sleep for an hour and 43. Like, you know, my timing was good, which means I went to bed on a good time and I woke up at a decent time.
Yes.
I only got 6 hours and 4 minutes of sleep. They say it's a little low, but my sleep score for the day was 72. I mean, I'm good.
Right. So then you think about it. So why would it be low if you was at a 72? Are you supposed to be at 100 or 80? Or
no,
90?
100 is like the best.
Yeah.
So 72 is not like bad. It's like that's good.
72 is good. So the other one, which we are conditioned to think that if I don't get 8, it's low, but it wasn't because you still hit a 72.
Yeah.
Which because the quality of sleep that you actually got, and that's kind of why naps are good. Sometime too to reset you, but that's it's super dope. Maybe I need a ring.
That's why I was asking you when your birthday was because I was gonna get your ring because I just replaced my wedding band. I just put this on and it's 4 or 5 days before you gotta charge it.
Yeah, see, my wife's gonna kill me, but
you can put it in. You can put it on another joint.
No. I'm just saying my wife's gonna kill me because I don't even be taking this one off no more, and this like my good one. And I gotta go ahead. So that would help me out a couple different ways.
You got multiple wedding bands, man. You got a good one and a not so good one, and the one.
All right. So my wedding bands, I got a platinum band. That joint was like $2,000. Right.
This one got black diamonds.
I got one from Sports Authority, not Sports Authority. Dick's Sporting Goods.
It was like rubber
band.
Yeah.
I like wearing that joint.
Right.
It's just there. Matter of fact, EA was the first one I seen ever having that. And he was like, I got a rubber joint. And so I wear that I used to wear it, but now I'm wearing this one. Anyways, let's get off this ring stuff.
I think it's pretty dope. I think people are gonna come on and check that out.
No, it's pretty. I like it. I seen Chris Paul have it on his thing and he was talking about it. And then I was like, let me look at it. So I reresearched it for like 4 months before. Huh?
He get paid to wear it?
He probably owned part of it.
Yeah.
I swear.
Get paid to wear it?
I swear. I need CP on here.
Yeah.
Like I know he mad busy season about to start, but I don't really, I don't want to talk to him about basketball. I know my man is business smart.
Yes.
And he into so many things. Like he just launched a new vegan snack, right? I think he's an investor in GoPuff, which is a food delivery service that focuses on food deserts. And he's vegan himself, so he's pushing to have more.
They have warehouses in food deserts.
So that's their thing. So you know how Uber Eats, you order and they go to the store and pick it up for you. No, they have all the food already
right there,
which means they buy it all at a discount. That means they're not going right,
absolutely.
and then that means they leaving from their warehouse with the stuff you ordered.
Yeah.
And they control the inventory a lot better.
You get it faster too.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Stuff,
that's dope. But that also means that there's probably either there's black people on the board to care about food deserts. What do you think?
I think he's part
Part
owner.
owner. Yeah.
Or
So what
investor,
I'm saying is, so,
at least, you know?
But everybody who part owns something really don't always, you know.
Yeah, he's pretty passionate. I think
No, I know. I'm just saying that because my logic of why it's relevant to have, or why it's strategically placed in warehouses.
like I live in a food desert.
Yeah.
And I remember living on the other side of town.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I wanted to go get something decent to eat,
Yeah. You got to
not-
drive all the way outside.
it's not here. I gotta go to the other side.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to go get the not so good healthy food for myself.
Absolutely.
Gotta fix that.
But I appreciate the people who run that company for that decision.
Those are the things I want to talk to him about.
Yeah.
I don't care about you going into your 18th. I mean, it's dope.
Yeah,
He's about to go into his 18th season.
Right.
Yo, we old, bro.
Yeah,
At least
I want to know about, like you said, like
You went to school with
his
him.
business
Yeah,
prowess.
we was school. He was my quarterback when we played Louisville Titans.
Yeah.
I think he quarterbacked for me 1 year in high school.
Yeah.
And
Make
like-
it happen. It's the homie, man.
Yeah, he's
Come
just
on,
busy,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I know how it is. Yeah. I got everybody.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
man.
I know you ready to jump in there. I see
Nah,
you
I'm
double
just-
dutching.
nah, man, I'm
Nah,
just-
yo, you see bro, big ass double dutching trying to jump in the rope. And
I can't jump because of that damn workout
your knees
today. Yeah, I can't jump.
Two
Step
knee braces
ups.
on though.
Yeah, I keep them on. Okay. Yeah. I keep them on when I go to
I got
AWOL.
one right now.
No, I'm on right now, but I probably need to.
Yeah, the
After
AC
that,
green
what's
joints,
today?
yo.
Today's Wednesday, so that Tuesday workout,
Oh yeah.
that was
Well,
murderous.
it's probably every week by the time you get to Thursday.
Because Tuesday was legs. It was just, I don't care what nobody, it was all legs.
Burnout.
No?
Bro, welcome to the Endgame podcast. This is Lynch
Oh,
Hunt.
you just gonna ignore me?
You gonna really-
So, right. So I'm the only one that had that my legs were in pain. I'm the only one.
Yesterday? No, I'm not saying that. I just don't want to. These people came to come on. They on some dope stuff.
This is dope
We've been
stuff.
talking about
His knee
sleep.
braces.
This is dope stuff.
We've been talking about workout.
Man, I'm okay.
Food,
All right, let's get into this. I know we're talking
This is
about food
dope.
and the rings.
I think we have the dopest.
Let me tell you-
podcast on the planet.
So I get comments all the time. People call me all the time. Let me tell you probably the dopest conversation I had today about the Endgame podcast. Somebody called and said, man, I watched the episode talking about personal values. And he said, that left me going, what do I value?
Yeah.
And he started pondering and pondering. And now he's in the process of developing his value system, his
Love
core
it.
value system.
Bro, let me
That was without a doubt the dopest call I've had.
That's so dope, right?
That is
And
super dope.
here's the thing that is difficult for a lot of people is that they have to be willing to accept that something they know may be wrong
Yeah.
and they may need to change it. Right. And so I'm not even saying it's going to work for you, but I'm saying the willingness to be able to accept that what you know may be wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the willingness to give something else a try in the meantime is the biggest thing that you ever do.
Yeah, absolutely. And even to add on to that, I believe that some people just want to like have the best or do better and be better. And even if they're, even if ain't nothing wrong, it's like, there's actually, I just got this information and I don't have the best plan to, operate from or the best GPS system right
And I
now.
think a lot of people want to hold on to the beliefs that they're comfortable with,
Yeah.
even if they know that this ain't working for
So
them.
I wrote this. I don't even know. I'm writing a book right now. It's going to be done by the end of the year. And I talk about this in my book, where I talk about nobody ever wants to question their heroes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And most of our heroes are our parents, our grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you get information from them, you don't want to go check it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yo,
so,
do you ever hear me? I'll be like, man, F all that.
yeah, you
Like,
very
I be
very
checking
common.
everything and everybody every single
Everything.
time is because I don't really care about all right, check this out. I've been talking about like character, identity, all that stuff all week long, right? And what I realize is that, we've all created who we want to be and we've done it multiple times in our life.
Right.
So a character, we can literally play a character in our life whenever we feel like we want to create one. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So my belief that like something traditional is the way that I should actually do something, like it's kind of like 6 on one side, half on a dozen. If it serves me this time, I'll do it this time. If it doesn't, man, F all that stuff.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. And that's kind of where I be at with it. I don't hold on to it for too long. It's just tough. It's tough.
So it's more results based.
Yeah, so, it's more like
people will hang on to a belief, and they will hang on to that thing until
it don't get them nothing.
It don't get them nothing. And
ain't got them nothing.
And worse,
it hurts them.
It hurts them. It hurts them, and they won't change. But yeah, that was probably one of the dopest calls I got.
So even with that, right? Mm-hmm. I just want to say, anybody who's watching now, let's just say they didn't watch the episode about core values. Mm-hmm. Of course, I know now they're going to go back and try to find it. We hope you do that. Yes, but I just want you to know that your core values are literally coordinates, like the GPS. So wherever it is you're trying to go, if you don't have those coordinates punched in, you're probably going to take any road to get there. They say if you
to get nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You won't even get there.
Right.
So just GPS. Just think about GPS, think about coordinates, and that's what your core values actually
so that kind of stuff keeps me going, man. It keeps me like, I like, again, this is therapeutic for me, coming here and being with you guys. And then when I hear that from just random people, man, it's like, it's so encouraging. It's so encouraging.
Man, but 58 community colleges too. Oh yeah, but we ain't gonna do that. Yeah, it's all
good.
Did y'all, it was a dope call though.
Did y'all see that Sway actually had the answers?
Sway had the answers.
Talking how, Sway?
Yo, but how is it that when I say it?
What year was that though, dog?
10 years ago. 9 or 10 years ago.
Yeah, a decade ago.
10 years ago. So look, I got this.
Lynch?
Look, so check this out. I got this song, right? The Changed Man. Remember, y'all was like, we should use that for the intro.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of that song, I say, what if I told you that your life would be the exact same 10 years from now?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you probably changed too, right? 10 years ago, this man gave him questioned him, right? Emphatically about what he was about to do, what he was doing, right? And gave him an answer to the problem that he would have.
Why you think he was so angry about his answer to his problem?
Yeah, so check it out. I think, what was you about to say? You had
something. I was going to go there too. That's just fascinating. Like, you're Kanye West, right? You're at the top of your game.
Hold on,
everybody in the world knows you.
Now.
Go ahead.
You got all kinds of influence, but you don't know how to go do this.
Hold on now.
Can I say what you just said? Like, what he just said a couple minutes ago was he was the people holding on to beliefs.
Yeah.
And the beliefs are based off the people that kind of did it before or the leadership.
The problem was, you look at Kanye like that now. Yeah. We may have looked at Kanye like that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Kanye didn't see himself as who he is today. Right. Meaning that he had a hard time believing that he would reach this Kanye. Because in the reality of everything, like we was talking about before,
I don't know if I agree with that though, but I'm with you.
It had to be.
He didn't want to bet on himself. He felt like he had to be a slave to the brands.
No, let me break down, like I say, like anybody else. How many times, even us growing up as little kids, have we said, if I only had the money?
Oh yeah, I hear that today. I can't do this because I don't have the money.
If I only had the money, I'll be able to do this. Right. And then what happens if you tell somebody, yo, if I give you $100,000, like, what would you do?
Right.
So the point, what I'm saying is, Kanye's barrier felt like the gatekeepers of whoever these fashion brands were.
Absolutely.
and the warehousing, and it boils down to number one thing, money. Kanye didn't feel like he had access to the money, so he did not believe in what he was actually doing.
Right, to bring the vision back. So I mean, you're absolutely right. We'd never be able to outperform our belief system, and that's kind of where we got to this point and everything, which is absolutely right. Yeah. I believe you could take Kanye's name out of there. You could put anybody's name in that sentence.
Exactly.
And that's where we're at today. That's what Steph just did $1 billion deal. It's the same thing. Every single person that you got in there, if they're not doing it for themselves, they have that same belief. And it's because exactly what you said, being a slave to those brands, because they believe more in the brands than they believe in their own names, and think they need the brands to actually, make this stuff happen at that level because they don't have the resources. They think they don't have the resources.
And I think the only thing, and Kanye is a brilliant man, I think the only thing is his vision couldn't see 10 years. but he may have seen 2 years. And then after that, he's seen 2 more years.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it was hard for him to see that full 10 because if he would have really took it to that but I get it.
So he's always kind of saw himself like, superhuman and all that stuff. He always thought like that, in that documentary, like that, and all of that. Yeah. You just see this part right here where you've looked up to this particular thing for so long, or wanting to be in this space for so long, and you're literally at the ground of this, new venture. So if you're kind of nobody, you're Kanye in the rap game, but you don't believe you're Kanye in fashion. So in fashion, you're nothing unless you're attached to such and such. Like, didn't he just do something with the Balenciaga joint? Yeah. Like, and they got like receipts out there of how much money he wanted spent to be on Balenciaga in a year.
He wanted to be Teflon Don. He wanted Virgil's job, right? So I think the other,
bro. But when rest in peace, yeah. Here's the thing. Ye was crying that he was broke during that interview. I ain't got the money. Right. So that was very clear of what he's saying. Yeah. So rest in peace to Virgil. I think Virgil was a very brilliant person.
Genius. Yeah.
I started to look at who owned Virgil's brand Off-White and who owned the collab companies that he was working with. Guess who owned all of them?
LVM.
Yeah.
And so this is not no conspiracy. I'm just saying when they chose somebody to run the game and be the influence for the culture, they picked him. So when it was like, yo, my man Virgil is head of Louis Vuitton's X.
Yeah.
Or he just did a collab with Louis Vuitton. Well, the same person that was invested in Off-White was also invested in Louis Vuitton.
Right.
Yeah. And all these other, and it was like, I was like, oh, so it was just like an inner circle deal.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, but I thought it was fascinating that, when you look at it, you're like, oh wait, so they own this, they own that. And so all the collabs he did was within the same company.
Right. Yeah. I think the other important part about that whole situation with Kanye and Sway is delayed gratification. I think Kanye was saying, how can I be Louis Vuitton today? Not thinking, oh, I can be Louis Vuitton in 10 years, or I can be, whatever in 10 years in the fashion world. So his real question, I believe, was, how can I do that right now without attaching myself to these big brands versus going, I'm going to bet on me. And in 10 years, which he is, I mean, he sold more than Jordan, right? At one point in time with the Yeezys. He just couldn't see that. And he felt like there was no way he could be Louis Vuitton or, Jordan or whomever right then. And he couldn't see himself being that 10 years in a decade. And so I think that was another big part of it. That was, in my opinion, that was the real question.
No, I believe you're right, but we're doing 10-year contracts. We're doing, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, I mean, I know that when they're talking about a lot of money, all that different type of stuff, but I just think if we could believe bigger, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, if we could see it a little tad bit farther, the imagination, man, is bigger than that immediate gratification, man. Imagination will take you a long way, man. I'm telling you. It's sad. I think
do we agree that he actually brought back Gap? Because can't remember anybody. I don't know anybody.
Both and Adidas.
And Adidas.
Yeah, and Adidas. So I seen that headline.
Without Yeezy on Adidas, bro, they might as well just stick to like soccer.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they got.
They had a good run when they dropped the MNDs, and I think that was when they had like the Puma creators, one of the top creators on us. But it was other than that.
Yeah.
Black people, we dominate culture.
Yeah.
Or we dominate, you name it.
What's
any
cool?
field of human.
Cool.
We dominate.
We own cool.
We own it, period. But we got to believe, we don't own it.
We create it.
We're super creators, but we don't
own none.
We don't own it. But so in talking about, we're talking about
why we
weeks.
don't want to own nothing.
Why don't we own it?
Why don't we want to own nothing?
I don't know if it's the want is the right word.
Yeah.
Everybody partner. They want to like the shoe stuff.
It's the same reason why we looked at Kanye 10 years ago as who we see Kanye as. He didn't believe that he could do what we think Kanye could be able to do. Right. So we don't even look at ourselves like we can do any damn thing.
We got to bet on ourselves.
I feel you, but I don't look at none of them like that anyway.
Yeah, you working for 238. So
you're different. You're different. You're built
different.
Word.
So we were talking about
238.
Man, I have to share this story, man. And Max and I we were talking about this morning.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about just challenges and things like that. And so most people know I have a trucking company and I'm about to add to the fleet.
You have a logistics business.
Logistics, exactly. Well, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, sir. That I'm adding to the fleet. And so, quite frankly, I'm tired of using my money to add to the fleet. And so a buddy of mine was like, yo, I talked to this guy over here at Truist Bank and I told him about you and he wants to meet you. So I went and met the guy. Told the guy what I was trying to do, what I was about to do, and he was like, "Oh my God, we want to help you. We want to establish a relationship. I'm buying 2 trailers, $50,000 a trailer. So that's what $100,000
plus tax, 110
exactly. So dude was like, "Yo, we want to help you with that. We want to give you, we want to loan you the money for that, right?" And this is just before getting the underwriting or anything like that. And so he said, here. So he laid out the options. One of the options is, collateralize, of course, the trailers. One option was like a signature loan on a line of credit. Another option, refinancing some equipment that I have right now to free up cash to go buy these 2 additional trailers. And so I'm like, all right, cool. Love it. He said, well, can you fill out an application? Yeah, no problem. Filled out the application. And then from that point on, like every week it was something else. So I'm like, what's going on? Right. And so he was like, he finally came and shout out Byron, man. Byron over at Truist in the hood. He's doing a great job. And
I was about to say, damn, you just dropped his name?
Yeah. Because he's doing a great job. Love him to death. He's doing a great job. And he's actually, doing this fight for me. But so he said, man, I'm just gonna come clean with you. Right. Now, when I didn't have any money, I could get a loan. I can get a credit card. People were loaning me money when they shouldn't have been loaning me money, right? So he was like, this is crazy, but the underwriter said, because I had to provide like business tax statements and personal tax statements.
Yeah.
And so 2000, let me get this right, 2019 and 2018, 2019, 2020 showed negative returns on my K1s, right? And the K1, if you don't know, K1 is basically if there's a partnership, it shows your share of the partnership, what profits passes through to you, or losses that passes through to you, and basically shows your share.
You get to use the losses from the business on your personal
tax return. Absolutely, right? So I had losses on the business side by design, right? Because I can make a whole bunch of money, but still have losses on my business side, and it helps me out personally with taxes, right? So he came back and he said, "Yeah, they're looking at the tax returns, and if we average them out, you have a negative income."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Bro, did you see my personal tax returns?" He was like, "Yeah, the underwriters, they're not really looking at those though."
Even though you personally got to guarantee them.
Exactly. Even though exactly. If it's an LLC, S corp, or whatever, I'm getting the loan. I have the personal guarantee.
Your signatures at the end of the day.
And so I'm like, wait a minute, I'm being punked, right? Because now I could go buy, I don't know, 10 $50,000 trailers if I just use my money. So I really don't need their money. I just want to use their money. We're talking about I think at the time, like 780 credit score, which was another joke because.
Damn, 780. I'm like 710.
No, he came back. No, this is what's crazy. So they came back and said, yeah, your credit score came in at 669, but don't worry about it. I'm like, bro, I pay for services to track my credit score. I know my credit score is right. But anyway, he said, yeah, I tell people to add 50 to 70 points when they get our credit score to what their real credit score. hold on. Yeah, no. So this goes on. So he says, yeah, I'm just having trouble getting this thing approved. And I'm like, bruh, did you see my liquid net worth? Right? My total net worth? Go. Right? I'm like, are you? So I'm like, now I'm getting like, I'm like, are you serious? Am I getting pumped?
You sound like me on the joint.
Right, I'm hot bitching. I'm like, I'm lynching. I'm like, bruh. So you know that. So we're having this communication like either at the branch or through email or text, right? So I picked up the phone and called. Yeah. I called Byron. I said, Byron, listen, man, take your truest hat off right now. You know, that's a brother. So we gonna have a conversation like we're on the basketball court. So take it. Are you serious? Because this story is gonna end up on the podcast. Yeah. You mean to tell me your underwriters,
which ain't making no money,
which exactly can't fit my situation, my square situation in the circle, the circles on their little spreadsheet or their little whatever to make this work. Are you serious? He was like, Rod, it's I'm not gonna say what he said, but I don't want to get Byron in trouble. I already called his name. Right. It's out of his hands, right. But he was like, man, and so he was like, man, and you know what? Here's the other interesting thing. They never asked me for a personal financial statement until he couldn't get it done. He was like, well, do you mind if I want to run this up the flagpole? And then I gave him my personal financial statement, and he was like, oh, nah, this is ridiculous. He brought in, like when they were courting me, they brought in the VP of the region. We want to talk to you about what we can do.
Once every 2 weeks, bro.
So I was like, I called him. I said, man, take off your truest hat. I want to make sure I understand what you're telling me. You're telling me you're having trouble approving this loan because my business K1s have losses on them for the past 2 years or 3 years. Is that what you're telling me? And because you saw my personal tax return, you saw my credit score. He was like, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I was blown away. And I said, yeah, this is going to make the podcast. People need to understand that, you know, traditional lending, they have like, if you don't fit this mold,
it's dangerous.
Then you're not going to be considered credit worthy.
It's dangerous, but let you be 18 and want $100,000 for school.
Exactly. And that's what I said to him. I said that. Or you're 19, you're on the college campus, and they give you a $5,000 credit card.
You might as well get. So Lynch, Rod and Lynch, I got a story like that.
Yeah.
So at the same institution, got $1 million and change over there, and I go, you know, I got the new Cadillac, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's like a Secret Service car.
Yeah, I go pick up the new Cadillac. I order it. You can put a little bit of money down, and when you come, you finish paying for it. So when it gets there, the bill's like $120,000. And so I have never financed anything.
Right.
I got American Express that I could run up to $300,000 in a month. But other than that, I don't finance my house, my cars, my planes, my rental properties. I've bought them all cash over last year. Alhamdulillah, I've been able to, you know, do that. But I was like,
blessing.
I was like, let me go and I'm gonna take out a loan on this car. Just like 6 months, and I'm gonna pay the joint off. Just for the heck of it.
Right.
So I go there and I'm like, yo, let me get a loan on this thing. And then my man come back, and I think they run me on like 3 or 4 banks. One was the bank I go to, like I have money at. A couple other banks. My man comes back, he was like, same thing. Yo, I'm not able to get you approved. So I opened my phone and I said, look, Truist said no. I said, look at this.
Right.
I said, that's inside the Truist account. You know? He's like, I said, you know what? Go back to the lenders and tell them to put down 75,000 out of the 110. Like, I just need to see this on the credit profile to see if it, because I'm like, I'm stuck at like 720 or 710 credit score. I don't have like, you know.
Right.
And so come back, he's like, I ain't gonna be able to do it for you. I sorry, man, I'll be back. Let me go get the check.
Right.
But one of my employees who I paid $30 to can go get a $54,000 car.
Yeah, absolutely.
$30 an hour, but they can go to get a $54,000 car the same day.
It's a racket. And I was just blown away. And so it's still not done because they're running it up the flagpole, whatever that means. But the dealership that I'm getting the trailers from, they offer me credit the same day. But this traditional bank,
Yeah, and so there is there's other outside of these other lending institutions like that will give you, but yeah, that's wild that that.
And so it was all about again using other people's money because I'm tired of using my money. And I used to be a big proponent, and still for the most part, consumer debt is dumb. It's just stupid if you have consumer debt. That means you went and bought a purse. You went and bought shoes or whatever with your consumer debt, and you're paying interest on that.
Afterpay, the four easy payments.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just stupid. But then you have like business debt, right? That you're use that debt to buy an asset, and I believe that that's super dope because you can leverage so much more, especially if you don't have cash, you don't have $1 million or you don't have $150,000 where you can, go get a loan and, as long as you can service that debt with whatever you're going to do with that asset, it makes sense. And so I was trying because I use, again, I'm in personally $700,000 in the so I'm like, I'm just tired of using my money. Let me go try this.
Why you ain't leave from there though?
Huh?
Why you ain't leave from Truist?
I don't have an account with them. I don't have anything.
No, I'm just saying, like, why are they still messing with the deal? Like, why don't you just go somewhere else?
You know what? So I'm gonna tell you why. And this is just a little bit of history. Back in the day, the decisions were made in the branch, right, by the bank manager,
like the VP of the bank.
People you might
right, but they were the person in the branch. I get why they took it out of the branch because certain people didn't get loans because of how they looked, right? They might look like us, and they didn't get a loan, and so now they have the underwriting, total separate department, way. But they took the human element out of the whole process. The common sense element out. Now, literally, it's a formula. If you don't fit in that formula, and so it's almost personal right now, right? And here's what's crazy.
That's the reason why I would walk.
No, right. So yeah, I'm not going to get the loan from them, even if they come back tomorrow. So here's the money. Not doing that. But they took the human element out of it, and the personal element out of it. So it got personal for me, and so that's why I was still messing with them. But now at this point, it's like I almost want to force their hand to do it, and then say no. Yeah.
So here's something that's cool for our audience to understand, right? And how many calls do you get from bankers?
Oh, I get from bankers or letters or like you're pre-approved for.
No. Just like actual bankers that want to
pick up the phone. Yeah, regularly.
Yeah, and the reason is because they want your deposits.
Yeah.
And so their deposits, they multiply whatever you give them by 10, and that's their lending power, something like that.
Right.
It's called fractional lending. And so when you have large amounts of money, don't deposit that until you sit down with the VP of the bank and tell them your plans and what you want to do, because they need, and here's what you don't understand, they need deposits in order to keep up their lending programs, which is where they make money. They'll give you 0.05%, lend it at 16, 17, 18, 19 on a credit card, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on a home loan, HELOCs, adjustable, all that stuff like that. So you need to know where the power lies with your money.
Right.
So you about to go put 100. You got a new business account, got 100,000 in it. That's almost $1 million to them. Right. If you're keeping that balance, and that's why banks go upon your average monthly balance. So if you have a checking account where your average monthly balance has to be 6 figures or more, right? They're betting on that, and they're using your joints.
It increases their buying power, and they invest money overnight. So they're trying to get a fraction of a percentage overnight. Absolutely.
So talk about that. So talk about what a sweep account is.
Yeah. So banks take our money and they invest that money to earn, even if it's a fraction of a percent. They use that money to go invest to try to make money off the money that we have. They have to keep certain levels of deposits, but they make money doing that. And then, like you said, the other way they make money is, the biggest line item, fees, NSF fees.
Period.
That's the biggest line item.
I was watching the congressional hearings about that. How I know it was insane. I think Merrill Lynch and Bank of America, I think they're the same, right?
Yeah.
They had the largest.
Right. And then they
collect those fees.
Billions. They make money with
billions.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's the biggest line item. And so they were cool. Banks have always been cool with us getting NSF fees and any other fee that they can come up with. The monthly $1.20
throwing you in the negative.
$2. Right, exactly.
And then if and then making you pay it off.
Absolutely. Then they make money with the spread, so banks can go borrow money, and then they can lend that money to us. They borrow it for, just hypothetically speaking, 1%, and then charge us 5%, right? So that's how they make money as well. But yeah, and so like when people say they make their money with fees, most of their money with fees and with the spread of interest rates. So the flip side of that is, we say we want to go support black banks, right? I know you love that word, support. All right, we say we want to go support black banks, right?
I was supporting R7.
The way, yeah, drink that.
I started drinking it because I need the energy.
So, if you want to support a black bank, don't just go open a $200 account. If you want to support a black bank, give them long-term business. Give them, borrow money from them.
Give them your HELOC. If you must, give them your home.
Exactly, because that $200 deposit really doesn't help. If you want to support black banks, do you support black banks?
I support nothing.
Why not, man?
Because we're gonna add value to each other, and that's how we. That's what we exchange. Support. Right. That's it. We're gonna exchange value and service for each other and make each other better.
Right.
I'm not just this support to me sounds lopsided. And I'm just not with. I've been in too many lopsided relationships.
That is, that's the best way you said it so far.
Yeah.
Support sounds lopsided. Child support sounds lopsided.
Absolutely.
Child support.
No, I didn't. No, well,
See,
damn,
trauma,
I'm about to get it. Get him R7. Get him R7.
He said, me and my boys used to call it chasup. That's how it looked on your check. That was the line. It was chasup. Like, yo, dog, what your chasup look like?
Yeah, you're right. That's a good way to explain it. Support seems so lopsided.
Yeah.
Like when your mom supported you the whole time you was living at home, from your time you was all the way up to 20, whatever, when you left.
Think about how those conversations was when you wanted to do something. It was always lopsided. It was because I support your ass. Because I do this, that, and the third.
So let's exchange value with each other.
That's it.
Right.
And then now, if I actually came in and played some type of part or role in the situation, she wouldn't have no problem giving me the keys to the car for the night.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a conversation from a friend of mine, an entrepreneur, right? And I feel like, well, you guys tell me how you feel. So he hits me up and he says, and I get calls like this, and I'm sure we all do, because I call people when I get into conversation. There's only like a handful of people you can even call or even ask these certain questions. Mm-hmm. He hits me up, he says, yo, Max, what do you do when you've done real well at this particular thing, but you're not fulfilled anymore? And I was like, well, you're not challenged anymore. It's not challenging you. I was like, but you never loved what you were doing. You found out you were good at it and you did it, and you did it real good, real fast. Mm-hmm. I was like, he's like, well, what do I do? I said, well, you got to find something else that you really would want to do before you had the money that you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So my question is to y'all is, do you, when you're in your thing, mm-hmm. right? Do you ever feel like, I'm good at this, it's going well, I'm not fulfilled anymore, or I'm like, this ain't the thing anymore?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. So about that situation, was the guy still doing well, still making money?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my take on that. First of all, success is boring, period, right? So it's boring. If you want to lose weight, you get up and you do the exact same things every single day until it's not working. Then you switch it up and you do the exact same thing until that's not working. Then you do that all over again. You eat the same things, but you're getting these results. So success is boring. As long as he's still making money and doing well, so he's boring. So the conversation we had once before is this is the time when people need to get, I would tell them, bruh, get content with where you are right now. So it's always, I got to be happy, or I got to be sad, or I have to be excited, or I'm unexcited. No, there's a landing spot in the middle where you can be content with this success you're still having, right? Why you're chasing dopamine? right? So is now if you're not being successful, if you're not making money, if you're losing money and this isn't working, yeah, I get it. Yeah, let's pivot, let's go do something else. But if you're doing really, really well, you got to stay in that vein, in my opinion, and just be comfortable or be content with where you are and stop chasing the dopamine. Now, if you, and Lynch says it all the time, keep the main thing the main thing. Now, if you want to go add to what you're doing, you want to get the side hustle to that, then go do that. But man, get content with, where you are instead of chasing that high.
I think they could do. I think they could do both. I think personally, what you said about the challenge is, I think it's the missing ingredient. A lot of people don't know how to challenge themselves when they get to a certain level, and that's the reason why the workout doesn't get any better. It's the reason why the diet gets boring. Is because they don't know how to add in, something to create or recreate or repurpose what they got going on to challenge and grow again. So sustainable success is create a base, challenge and grow, celebrate, and then you have a new base. What happens is we continue to keep this base right here, and that's what makes us bored. Yeah. So remember, create a base, challenge and grow, celebrate. Now your base is up here now. Yeah. And if we can continuously do that, we can continue to have success. And that's how products continue to evolve or services continue to change. And you actually change with the game. Yeah. So,
so find that excitement within, right?
And he's still rapping, but he's continuing to.
So what about a person like myself, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So real estate is what most people know me for, my 13th business, right? And feel like I've done what I wanted to do in real estate in the sense, like I still do stuff in it. Like I still have my people. I just had a question. Somebody said, "You still got your office?" Yeah, I go once a month. Yeah. But for me, I'm always doing, not always, but now I've diversified and went back into. I love entrepreneurship. Yeah. And I opened up a flight academy. Mm-hmm. I have an airplane build assist manufacturing and sale company, and because real estate wasn't challenging anymore. Yeah, the joint was like.
Could you create a challenge within? That's what I love about like AWOL Fitness, because everything that we do, even though we do the same thing, it's effort based, right? So I'm doing these freaking step ups. I'm trying to get 7. I can challenge myself to try to get 10. Yeah. So my question is, inside of real estate, right? Could you go like say you were advising you or someone like you where they are right now where you are? Could you help them discover more or different challenges inside of real estate?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can go into like multifamily. I don't want to do that. You can go into like these other. Yeah, I built softwares within it. Mm-hmm. They do okay. They do great. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think there's a ton of things that you could do and tell somebody to do within their thing. But as like personal development coaches and life coaches and, just people, we literally can like help people identify the thing that they actually do. So sometimes the thing that you actually do isn't the business you actually work in. Right. So he's just a creator. This man creates. Yeah. And he just got bored with creating in there, but now he like literally he likes to create from scratch, and he gets like you can watch this, like his passion just like open up, like what I mean, when he got something from inception. Right. So what I mean, he's like, yo, I can help you with that. Yo, I used to do this, that, and third. So the other thing now, he's just like, all right, here we grow again. Like, you know what I mean? Here we grow again.
So are you just now getting to this point? Did you get there when you created the software for real estate? Like, did you come up to a point and go, and then you said, oh, I need to challenge myself. I need to find something else. And then you came up with the idea of the software. And then that was the next thing that kind of got you excited.
Those things ran kind of almost congruent, kind of next to each other. In like real estate itself was like the first thing, and then me solving my own problem with this software, and then seeing an opportunity over here while still doing real estate. I think I'm able to multitask is one. I love it.
There's no such thing, but
of multitasking.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Well, I do more than one thing at a time.
No, you don't.
Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Why?
Wait. How in the hell am I running all these companies at the same time?
What? You're not. You're playing the orchestra. You're playing the orchestra. You're not.
So you're saying it's the same. So you're saying it's the same thing. I'm just using different instruments
Hello.
Okay, all right, I can take that concept.
And
That's-
hold on, I got
that's
hold
like
on,
fucking semantics at this point.
Hold on.
It's all we're about to do
Why?
again.
Why
You said-
why you tell me shut up?
Here
Why
we
you-
grow
Why
again.
you
Shut up.
yeah, you're like
I didn't tell you.
so
to
now
shut
you
up.
can do a whole sermon
I didn't tell you. I didn't
on
say
whatever
nothing.
point, but when
Slow
I
down, brother,
say
slow down.
I've been talking about 7 minutes on this entire
What?
podcast, so I ain't did no sermons yet today. None.
yet.
None.
So, but you just like you stiff arm me when I say
You want
me
no,
to
I
tell you-
disagree with
because
you.
I know I didn't know. I just know where we're about to go on this.
So let me
So
entertain me. Just let me go.
I don't really want to with this because sometimes you're taking a little piece of information, right? And then you want to kind of box everything else into that little piece of information. And yes, we've read all that stuff about there's proven that you can't really do these two things at one time, but your ass
This is
is doing
about
it too, big
enlightenment.
dog.
I was going what?
You are multitasking too, dog.
No.
You do it.
Anyway,
You do it.
all right.
All
Now-
right, tell me you don't. And I
I
guarantee
don't.
you we don't.
Now you're gonna tell me I multitask. When I'm
Absolutely.
telling you I don't multitask,
Okay.
I don't. I single. I am most productive when I single thread. Now-
You may be most
that-
productive,
yeah.
but that's not answering the question that do you
No,
multitask?
No. Your brain, our brains can't multitask.
I read
so
those
if our brains
articles.
can't,
I understand them.
no, you don't.
how do
If
you-
you're saying I multitask, you don't understand.
Hey, so
them.
wait, let me, because I haven't read that article. The brain cannot multitask.
No.
As
Nah,
in-
you can't.
No,
really
the brain
work
does
with
is single thread. It does or thinks about a lot of things really, really fast.
so I'm good at that then.
But
That's what
we
Semantics.
all are.
That's what I'm trying
We
to
all
tell
are.
you.
No, I don't know if everybody is.
No, your brain is everybody's.
No,
brain
I've
is.
had employees that can't do that.
No, they can't.
Well, they don't
It's
do
the
it.
brain. That's how the brain is set up. The brain is set up to do all these things.
But a
in line.
car is set up to run, but one of them cylinders fail. I mean, it's still running, but it ain't running like it's running. You think brain don't have no cylinders like that?
Nah,
I don't know.
no. The brain is an involuntary function, involuntary organ.
But then how the
If
hell
it's
is
an
we?
organ.
How can't the brain? All right, I don't care. Anyways,
I don't know. I actually be driving the car and texting.
I be flying and texting,
All right, so I mean, there go two things right there.
and if I
The
let go of
man
that,
do it. He just taking the article into the context that he wanted to fit in.
Listen.
and I didn't want to go here with this whole.
can
junk.
we help my friend, please?
That's what I was trying to say. Keep going so we can help the dude. So
But
we didn't have to do
I
this
think
for 20
I
minutes.
think we just helped a whole bunch of people by letting them know that they cannot multitask.
Well, ask
In
me.
my opinion.
Let me ask you something.
In my opinion.
Check this out. Was I exercising earlier? Who I had with me the whole time?
Your daughter.
I was being a daddy. I was stopping her from crying. I was working out, doing step-ups, had the baby in my arm. I was lifting her as it was, and I had to get my workout in. But no, I couldn't do two things at one time. In my brain, I was doing two damn things. And guess what? You can't tell me I wasn't doing. You telling me
You
I wasn't
can't-
stepping up with two
Because
in my head?
you cannot let go of that belief because you're tied to that belief. I get it. You're tied to that belief.
Absolutely.
Based on the information that you got, based on the information that you
your
agree.
information, guess what you
So-
did? Sat in the corner and watched her.
How do you know
because-
that? How do you know that? You don't know that.
Because
Let me
you
have
think
this.
you can't do two things at one time.
No, I don't
and
think
it would have
that.
hurt you
I don't think that.
emotionally to
I don't-
watch your
I don't
baby
think
cry
that.
for
I don't-
40
no,
minutes.
I don't think that.
You know what I like
I
about
don't think that.
successful people?
I don't think that.
You know what I like about successful people?
What's that?
We do not have to agree and we cool with
We
it.
don't. Now, check this
Absolutely.
out. Check this
We
out.
don't have to
Did you-
agree.
Did you see me working out with the baby?
I did. I was you,
All right,
you
now,
were in
do
my
me a
rep
favor.
group.
What would you have done or took the same approach to solve that problem?
I would have tried.
No. I have a question. You actually believe?
I just asked a question.
I
Can I
know,
get
but-
mine answered first before you hit me with the
we
DA?
would have tried.
and
We
the-
would. He
I
said he
would've
would have
tried.
tried.
I would've tried.
What about you?
I would have tried.
On the step ups
I
with
would have
bad
tried.
knees,
I
added
would have
another
tried.
30 or 40
I would have tried.
pounds with it.
I would have tried. So now I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you actually believe you're the only person on the planet that would have made the decision that you made to work out with your daughter?
Heck
No. And
Okay.
that means
All
I'm
right.
not the only person
All right.
that can multitask.
All right.
Because me and
that's-
other people who believe they can multitask would have made the decision as fast as I
you're
made it.
holding
But
on
if
to
I
that.
believed I couldn't
You're holding
multitask,
on
I
to
would
that
have picked one over the other.
I guess what happens, it comes down, it's like politics, I guess. Like it comes down to what's the definition of a multitask? What's the definition of
Absolutely, and we said it
that's-
was semantics in the beginning.
Here's
before
what
we
I
got
will
into
say.
the
Here's what I will say.
terminology.
I run multiple businesses at once.
No, you don't. including to the big homie.
I said he did.
He said it. He said I did, but it's not multitasking.
He's a maestro. He's playing all of these different instruments.
But here's what I will say. Here's what I will say.
Time,
I think
telling them what.
Here's the advice for you in podcast land. It is important to focus on that one thing because that's when you're optimal, right? And I guess that's when the majority of people are optimal. Now there are talented people that have, I think, particularly because I have ADHD and I
drive a lot better when I pay attention to the road. But if I got to call and be on a call or text and whatever I got to do, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it. I'm going to order it. I'm going to listen to my book while I'm driving. I'm going to do all that different type of stuff.
So when you're driving,
can I ask you a question? What the other thing told me that I couldn't do?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So if you're driving and you're on the car, are you thinking about driving?
It's involuntary.
Are you thinking about driving?
You have to actually pay attention.
Are you thinking about driving?
Bro, when the red light comes up, you have to think about.
How many times have you driven from here to home and didn't remember a complete stretch of the road?
That's the same thing he asked you a couple minutes ago when you said, when he said, is there parts of your brain?
You should run for president because I can't get a straight answer.
You should run for DA.
I can't get
because the way you question people, you ain't gonna let nobody answer the way they want to answer.
Listen, if either one of y'all want to run,
no, I'm not running.
I ain't running for shit.
Okay, because the midterms is coming. I can help you get in the DA's office. And if you want to run for president, we can work on that.
None of that. All right, see what happened with Ye.
Who?
Kanye when he run for president.
That was a cool scheme. Marketing guy, he's genius.
Anyway.
Yo, I was a random thought. Do you think Elon Musk is
Elon?
Yeah, do you think Elon Musk is brilliant? Yes or no? I didn't know.
I think he's brilliant.
Yeah. That just came up in the topic that I was having.
I don't know. I have no idea to even.
You don't know enough about him to even make that adjustment. You don't know either.
I say to get to that point of success, you got to be some type of halfway genius or something. I don't think a lot of that stuff just don't fall out the sky. So you got to give that man some type of credit.
Yeah, I don't have an answer. I was just wondering what y'all think.
You might not agree with it. I mean, I'm the only one that got an answer up here.
I had questioned it when somebody had said it. I was like, is he? And I was like, I don't think he is.
I mean, you might not want to give him that much credit.
No, I think he's smart.
All right.
No, I think he's smart. I was thinking like, because they were like, I don't know if that's semantics, whatever. Anyways, I think he's smart, but I don't. Like when I think of like, for me personally, when I think of somebody, I'm like, like Bill Gates, that dude is like a genius. Like the way and then like Steve Jobs, I feel like those guys were like, maybe he displays his genius in a different way. Yeah, I agree with. I mean, when you reach that level of consistent success, you are at a different level. You operate on a different frequency. Period. Absolutely. Which I think we all agree that he does. But that was a question. That was a dumb question.
Yeah, I want to touch on the point about diversification.
In what sense?
Just I think Lynch, you said something about diversifying businesses, or
I don't believe you should.
Okay.
I don't. Because it was part of my. I believe it contributed to my early failures.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like you talked about before. I like to create.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if you're painting 3 paintings at one time, you're not really, 100% focused on that. But I do believe as you create these SOPs or these standards, once you've once you've learned how to bake a dozen cakes, then you can say, yeah, I'm gonna bake. We all know somebody can say I can bake 3 different cakes at one time. Mm-hmm. You're still baking a cake, but I figured out how to bake. And so I think to have the level of success that you need to be able to then go out. This is me personally. This is not the right answer for everybody. You gotta get good at that one thing and master it in the sense of like where you can do it over and over again. Set that joint on autopilot with those SOPs, because my brother runs the day-to-day and Francis, they take care of the day-to-day stuff. Now it's SOP'd out, and now I can poke my head in as I choose and help make decisions. Yeah. But now I can focus on some other things, a couple of things. I'm writing a book. I'm running a few different companies right now. But I feel like the getting myself out of survival mode thinking, like I no longer worry about survival. So then my imagination can run wild. Mm-hmm. And I think that's my answer. I don't know, but what do you think, man?
I believe you're not going to write the best book possible because you're doing all this other, because you can't do two things at once.
You believe that? You're just being facetious.
I'm being condescending and facetious at the same time because this dude says you can't do it. I'm telling you, you can. Yo, jack of all trades, master of none, but most of the time, or oftentimes, still going to be the master of one. You can do this. You can use whatever words you want to use to support your beliefs. Everything has a placebo effect. If you believe that it works, it works. Yo, waist trainers, they work, yo. You know why? Because if you put this shit on, right, and you see your stomach going down a little bit, you might go a little harder on a treadmill. Might not work at all, but if you believe that it went down, might eat less of this and eat more healthy because you thought it went down because of the thing. Next thing you know, the damn waist trainer was the thing that actually helped you believed in your head that it worked.
So you can't say it don't work
so
because
you don't know if it don't work or don't
person.
Yeah, so I'll be saying, yo, 6 on one side, half a dozen on the other. It don't matter what you believe about something you read and what I believe about something that I read. If I can get a result that other people want and it's still above par, people are going to say, yo, how'd you do that? Well, I'm going to be like, yo, I actually drove here not paying attention and did some other shit. And they're going to be like, well, I think you should have waited till you got home to do it. I was like, yeah, but I'd have been tired. I'd have went to sleep. It wouldn't have got done. But I got both of them done. I got there.
Yeah.
So now you can't tell me that I ain't do two things. Like that. Oh, that's all I'm saying is that you're going to write a good book. Because I believe in you, that you're creative and that you can do that. And I believe that you can do 3 paintings at one time too. Because sometimes you get in the mood and you're creative on this one right here, you might put that shit down and come back to it. Because you got done faster? Absolutely. Did you go to the other one? Did you get 3 done? I bet you there's artists out there that have working on 3 different things at one time right now.
I believe so.
All right then, it can actually be done.
They're painting.
They're artists and they're creating.
They're painting.
And you create multiple things.
It's a singular thing you're saying. The singular thing is they're painting.
They're painting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not multiple. It's not painting and
they're painting.
Yeah, but everybody ain't locking themselves on an island to actually get the episodes and stuff done. Like you understand?
Did you hear? I know Tyler Perry, your guy. Did you hear his writing style? How he gets series done?
No.
He said he'll go to Wyoming, or what was the other spot?
An island somewhere.
Yeah, he owns an island.
He owns an island. So he goes to the island, and if the dude on the next island turns off his cell tower, he don't even got service on his phone. He writes 22 episodes every time he goes away to do this stuff. Then he comes back to produce them. So he's saying that he don't multitask when it comes to making the shows that's dope on BET.
He locks in, he writes 20 to 30 episodes. 20
something joints and gets it done.
Then goes to Wyoming and rinse and repeat.
Might do something there or something like that.
Yo, here's the cool shit. There is not one singular road to achieve
absolutely
whatever it is you want to do. And that is his method of madness. Because I tell you what he didn't do prior to being who he is now.
Exactly.
He didn't fly to no damn island and he wasn't in Wyoming. He may have been sleeping in his car homeless.
My first thing be like, call that do what you gotta do and get this done. After you get it done, do some more.
Is it
After
possible?
You do some more.
Is it possible he could have had a version of the island?
Yeah, he could have slept in his car. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, then some people go to Miami.
So I don't understand your point. I don't understand your point right now.
My point is this. Everybody ain't at Tyler Perry status. Everybody can't shut off the whole world. Everybody can't stop and just focus on one thing. They gotta do multiple. That's just the way life goes. And everybody's not where y'all are. So that's one of the reasons why I'm up there up on this platform, because somebody else is like, yo, I can't do that right now. I actually got to do this, that, and third.
So no, I get that part. But what I'm saying is your point, right? And your defense of that point right now is so aggressive right now. And I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't understand that, because one of the things that I think we do agree on is that success leaves clues.
Yep.
Right. And so if Tyler Perry isolates himself, he can isolate himself on an island, and that works really well, and he's successful. Yeah, I don't have to do it that way. But what if I did it that way? What if my island was my car, or what if my island was my bedroom, or what if my island was after the kids went to bed, I went in my bedroom, and my island was from 9 p.m. to midnight. right?
Yeah.
And I use a similar process, but not. I don't go to the Bahamas on my own private island.
So you know where I write my content at every day? That I produce content every single day. I
Yep.
text
Every
you guys,
morning.
Every
and
day.
nobody else really does that amount of content. I actually do it on a treadmill.
Pastors don't write
When
sermons every day.
No, pastors only preach once a week,
Maybe
in
twice.
the middle of the week. Yes.
Right.
And that's the reason why they can't get a lot of transformations, because there's not enough repetition in it. So they don't do it enough and don't stay on the same subject long enough for somebody to actually repeatedly get in their subconscious mind for it to be part of their habits so they could change their life.
Gotcha.
Right? Boom. Now, I'm actually walking on the treadmill. So even my island, I'm performing another task. I'm doing my fasted cardio at the same time I'm writing my sermons for the
I
day.
go back to my original question. Do you think about walking on the treadmill?
No.
Right.
Now, do I have to be conscious enough to stay on there without falling off on my face? Absolutely, especially
But
when
you've
I'm
done
going
it so
10.
much, dude. You don't think about. You don't. Yeah,
Listen,
you don't.
especially when I'm going 10 on an incline at 3.0, you have to be somewhat locked in on the thing that you're doing, because it's actually difficult.
Or your face gonna be no good.
Yes, but do I do these two things at one time? Yes, I do.
You don't think about it at one time.
I don't.
Yo, I had some questions from IG.
Okay, what you got?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So Moneyman20 says, what motivates you to keep you going daily?
I got some dope stuff.
I got one.
Rod, can you give him I love your spill on motivation.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of morphed a little bit, but we don't do anything without a motive, right? We won't get out of bed without a motive. We won't go
That
to work
word is
without a
two
motive.
words, right? Motive to act.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We don't do anything without a motive, first and foremost. But your motive or your motivation is passive, I believe,
Mhm.
right? And you negotiate oftentimes with your motivation.
Mhm.
So what if you had discipline, right? And the discipline, you don't negotiate with your discipline. The discipline says, I don't care how I feel. When I wake up, I get up, I go to the gym, or I get up and I drink, 2 bottles of water, or I get up. So I don't care if it's raining. I remember I had this one attempt to train for a marathon, and the guy that was helping me, he ran in college, and we used to run in the mornings at 6 a.m.
Mhm.
One day it was raining and I didn't show up.
Mhm.
And so he hit me like what happened? I'm like, it was raining. And it's like, no, we run in the rain, right? So that's discipline compared to motivation. So I think sprinkling discipline in there, and then effort, of course, trumps the quote unquote motivation, which is needed. I'm not saying it's not needed, but I'm saying discipline trumps all that.
So personally, I think motivation is something that comes from outside of you. So whatever we do, we want to try to, transfer that inside of you, which is intrinsic motivation or a sense of empowerment. I think what we got to do is help people become intrinsically motivated or empowered. So one of the things that I do for a lot of people is I actually get them to get a deck of 3x5 index cards, and I get them to write down maybe 3 to 5 things that they are like really proud of in their past that you achieved, and you're like super proud. If you can write 3 to 5 things down on these cards, right? Then write down 3 to 5 things that you kind of currently, achieved or you're on your way towards doing and stuff like that right now. Then write down another 3 to 5 things that you want to achieve in the future. And you take all these cards, Max, right? And what's my man's name?
G-Money.
G-Money.
Moneyman's 20, sorry. I lied. Moneyman 20.
Moneyman 20. So you take these 15 cards, right? These 9 to 15 cards, right? Yeah. And on that day that you're not motivated, right? You take this joint and you pick one. Right there, you'll have some motivation that comes from who?
Within.
It comes from within. It comes from you. It comes from your past accomplishments, your current accomplishments, and the things you want to achieve. You shouldn't have to go past you to actually get past go for the next thing that you want to do.
You know something else that motivates me?
What's that?
Like in the gym, if I'm doing something and somebody that I aspire to be from a fitness level, like Lynch comes up next to me, that motivates me to push hard, even though like I feel like I've stretched as far as I can stretch, I'm done. But he is somebody I aspire to be on a fitness level, and he'll say, "You got one more in you." When you got 2 more in you. Then when I think I only got 2 more, he said, 1 more. You got 1 more. You got 1 more. There's a video we did when I first lifted up this heavy ball. And first of all, one of the first times I did, I was like, it was 150 pounds. I was like, no way. And then I did it. And then he was like, come on, big dog, you got another one in you. And so I'm like, I'm about to die, pass out. And I did it the second time. He said, come on, we still got time. You got 1 more. And so having, the power of that energy motivated me to keep
so
going.
maybe community or professional accountability.
Yeah.
Could be another way to motivate them as well.
Yeah.
Max never did that 150 ball though. I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah, I never did that. I never even seen it.
Now I'm gonna teach you technique, how to do it and everything.
Yeah. I think motivated is somewhat needed as a spark, right? I look at when you go to survival school, or when you're in like you can have a flint, right? When you go in the woods or your emergency pack, you have a flint, and that flint allows you to start a fire in the woods, right? The thing is if you don't light something within with that flint and the flint goes out, you have nothing. So the flint, the motivation is just a starter. It's like that match. That match has got to get to something to light it, and then it continues to forever glow if you keep adding more wood to that fire. Right. And it's not more flint, more wood. More wood. The wood comes from within. And so we all need some type of motivation, whether it's an event happens in life, or somebody says something to you, or you hit rock bottom, or whatever that thing is, and then you keep going. So for that question, I think that what keeps you motivated daily, I don't look for motivation daily only from within. And we talked about, some of us have been through financial death, right? And you don't want to get back there. Some of us have lost our freedom. You don't want to go back there. I hit the bottom, and some of us don't want to go back there. We'll do a couple more questions.
Having goals too. Like if I don't got no goal, I don't care about eating.
Like a leaf in the wind, right?
Yeah, I don't care about eating right if there's no goal. If there's like, you know what I'm saying? So like right now, you got a goal. You and May, y'all got a goal to going away, and now it's like, yo, we gotta work out.
Locked in.
Like, you know what I mean? But when you don't got one,
we got like 2 months left.
Locked in.
He's excited too.
Yeah, we got like literally, we got 2 months left, bro. Some people talk about maybe what's your favorite book to read in order to like become a better leader? Like what have you read that has gave you some insight on becoming a better leader? I know you read so many books. But just give one.
I'm gonna say the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell.
Yeah, I've read that.
It's my cousin.
John Maxwell OG though. He OG. OG in the game. Believe it or not, 48 Laws of Power. Robert Greene. I think 48 Laws of Power, and I think from a leadership standpoint, understanding power allows me to be a more effective leader as opposed to people who abuse it. That it really is kind of like the art of war, but when you understand art of war, you learn how to lead people, and a lot of people, because we're going into battle. But
we got to do a conversation about leadership. Because
for sure.
I think particularly in the Black community, we lack like that global leadership. Like, I mean, on a macro level, right? Not on a micro, like, you guys are leaders in your communities. But on a macro level, I think we lack leadership.
Absolutely. But I think one of the underlying issues with that is we don't like to follow the way we, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's really like, we might not have the right representation to follow. And that's one of the reasons why we don't have, the type of leaders that we're looking forward to. But
gotcha.
the tail chasing the head again.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go after one more question, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. Somebody says, Dr. Only says, how can I build more self-confidence and go after my projects without support?
It's Kanye. Dr. Kanye.
Dr. Something, right? That was, you think that was Kanye? Hit me up.
I'm sure it was how we described Kanye not taking not being able to see the 10 years basically. But go ahead, big dog.
Nah,
like you wanted to tap in.
Yeah, nah, it's that cycle we talked about last week, where we talked about, you know, your potential and applying massive action. And so when you apply the massive action,
cycle starts with what?
Potential and what my potential is, and then I just apply massive action, and I apply massive action without judgment. I just run, just go, and after that, so you're going to get results, right? And when you get results, that's going to increase your belief or give you some belief, and then that's going to expand your potential because now my belief is bigger.
Yep. We got to say that again. So we went from potential, and that's like untapped energy or untapped thing that I want to get to. And then you're like, yo, from there, if you do massive action, then you'll probably generate some type of results. And the results will turn into belief, which then heightens your potential. And you keep going in this
just keep that, keep that cycle. One thing I'll say is you got to make sure you're on the right seat, on the right bus too. So hopefully whatever you're working on, it involves your gift, right? Because if it doesn't, then you might be fighting an uphill battle, or you might be in a realm, you might be on the bus, but you're in the wrong seat on the bus because you haven't tapped into the gift.
What you think about what you said, Max?
You know, I'm writing a book, and this is another thing I'm going to give from the book. I believe that childhood behaviors usually become adult standards pretty much. And so a lot of who we are stems from us from 1 to 5 years old. And when you're a kid, if you knock over this can of R7 here and your parents see it, depending on how they react to you knocking that over, depends on if you're afraid to do and make mistakes.
Right.
And so if you have a kid and the kid knocks this can of R7 over, and you yell, panic, and act a certain way, that kid is crying not because they spilt a drink. It's because your reaction of their failure.
Of disappointment.
And so, or you can have a parents, which my sister-in-law, she does this with her kids and her husband. The kid, the baby, knocks over something, spills something. It's okay. You okay? Clean it up.
Yep.
No over emotion, no nothing. And so the reason why I talk about that is because that same reaction you have to that failure is how you decide if you're even going to start.
Right.
Because now you're an adult and you can decide if you're even going to start this journey or have confidence. Confidence is what's confidence? Right? You're just afraid that if you fail, what will they say?
Right.
What would their reaction be?
Right.
It's the same as if you like scrape you fall off your bike as a kid.
Yeah.
If your dad come running the moment you fall, you gonna cry.
Yeah.
If he sit back and say, "Get up, boy," you gonna pop back up. I'm gonna show my daddy. You know, and so those behaviors you have when you're a kid become who you are as an adult. And in order to change that, you gotta not change the mold, but completely break it.
Yep.
And you gotta have the opposite and the equal and opposite thought to be able to break that. And so I think that we all have to recognize that there's things that were given to us as a kid, and we need to break those because failure is just a part of the journey. Matter of fact, as you start, understand that you're probably going to fall off the horse. Cool, get back up. As you start a new diet, understand you're probably going to lapse. As you start going back to the gym, understand that you are probably going to skip a day or two.
Right.
It's noted. Get back up.
It's like
and if you know that is in the actual plan on the way to success, you cool.
You cool. It's like the baby trying to learn how to walk. Baby falls down.
Right.
Baby don't just say, "Oh, I'm not gonna try to learn how to walk." Baby does what? Even if the baby falls down and scratches their knee.
Or walking, so he's like, "I'm gonna get this.
I'm gonna get this joint."
I think one thing that we can tell her, it was her.
Yes.
Yeah. So first decide who you want to be, and then prove it to yourself with those habits. by breaking the mold, doing things that that person would actually do. Success leaves clues. Try to figure out somebody who does the stuff like you want to do and do some of the things to see if they work for you. If they don't, find another person, do some of those things. But the self is not something that you find, you create the self. So that's what we really don't all understand is when you ready to do something else, then you just have to create the person that you want to be. And you do that through daily habits, rituals, routines, practices, and things like that. And that's how we learn how to dribble good, walk good, run good, read good, speak good, by doing the stuff over and over and over again. So, in order to learn a new motor skill, it takes like 300 to 500 reps. So just go out there and do it and do it and do it. And you get confidence with each rep and step that you take, just like the baby. Take 2 or 3 steps, fall again. But they confident in taking them 2 or 3 now. So with her, just like you said, not doing nothing, she don't have the confidence. But if she did the little deck of cards, then she can actually look at her past accomplishments. Belief is honestly, all belief is doing is taking your past accomplishments and looking at the positive out of it as opposed to the negative. And if you can literally just take that positive at the forefront of your mind and be like, yo, I know I'm gonna do this because I done did this, that, and the third. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you could take that, then shoot, you done created somebody else. And that's why you got a logistics company. That's why you're in planes and stuff now, is because you believe bigger than your fear. Like,
that's so powerful when you said create, because you're suggesting that people can create who they want to be, create their circumstance,
character or identity. Wow. So thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to beliefs, beliefs lead to actions, actions lead to habit, habits lead to the character or identity that you need to be to create your destiny or your goal or your outcome. That makes sense?
Yeah.
And we have total control over all that. But when you said that emotional response, you fall on step 2. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to beliefs. When they can't get past step 2, there's no way you're going to create a new identity, right? And that's the character leads to destiny, or identity leads to destiny, right? Decisions determine destiny. So if we fall off on step 2, no way we get into the habit to produce the thing that creates the new identity. Yeah. No way.
That's dope.
I like it.
Dope.
So how y'all feeling this week?
I'm sore.
Other than your knees.
I'm sore.
No knees.
Man, my knees are fine.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, my knees are fine.
Speak what you see.
No, so we're in Mexico, right? And so we go on this dinner cruise. And so I get motion sickness.
Okay.
Like really, really bad, right? And so
on boats and planes?
Period. No matter. And I certainly can't sit in the car and read. Right? I get motion sickness because of that imbalance or whatever. So
so you definitely can't do 2 things at once.
But yeah, especially when I'm moving. When I'm moving, certainly not.
He trying to get you back in another 20 minutes.
No, we good.
But just real quick, so we're on this boat and we're gonna go out, and so Monica says, "Hey, did you take your Dramamine?"
Oh, I heard about that pill.
She said, "Did you take your Dramamine?" And I said, "Nah." I said, "I have control over this." I didn't get sick at all.
Oh wow!
And we were out 2 hours on this boat. I was like, I said, "No,
mind over matter."
That was definitely mind over matter, because anytime I've ever gotten on a boat of any size, it's instantaneous. And me having motion sickness might have been mind over matter, telling myself for years that I get motion sickness when I get on the boat. So I told her, I said, "No, I'm good. I didn't take it, and I'm in total control of the situation. I will not get sick."
That's manifestation.
Yeah.
That's dope.
How about how you feeling?
Oh man, I had a difficult business week, but nothing that can't be fixed with a little bit of time and some money.
Absolutely.
So I'll keep rolling.
Yes, sir.
Man, I've been home 2 weekends. This will be 2 weekends in a row and I'm at home.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I was supposed to go to Atlanta, but the hurricane and all that stuff I'm not dealing with all that.
Yeah.
So,
hey man, I just got back from Jersey. I got to turn around, go back to Jersey again. So it's twice I'm gonna be in Jersey this week. It's some pretty dope stuff.
Is this AWOL related or R7 related?
This is my wife's best friend, Brandy, and it's her husband's Riz 50th birthday.
Okay.
And we're going to celebrate him.
Nice.
Yeah. So they've been friends since college.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So we're going to go celebrate him.
Cool.
But
The first trip, what was that? What was that about?
That was R7.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that probably was the I had to take like marketing material and stuff like that, so I had to drive. Where it would have been a quick turnaround if I just flew and came right back.
Right.
But 7-8 hours sometimes, when you stop, it's tough. So
that part's not televised, is it? That part's not televised.
That's the part of the grind nobody sees, man.
Right.
But shout out to everybody, the whole team that helps, make that happen when I got to shoot out and roll out real quick. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my wife who got to hold the baby down, all that different type of stuff by herself.
Right.
And shout out to my wife. My wife's my stylist, man. My wife be having me right on the joint sometimes, man. So she knows that I'm super conscious about my
He
stuff.
tried to get me in trouble with Wendy.
Oh,
yesterday.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
He had somebody else print. No, he had somebody else print the t-shirts.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Exact same thing I said.
Yeah. That's tough, man.
And he said that out loud too.
Because Anointed Couture would have took care of you.
Oh, no doubt. And she quickly said, I got you on the hoodies.
Yeah.
Like, bet.
Yeah.
Legit.
She wasn't salty or nothing like that.
Nah, she
I just had
wasn't.
to throw it out.
You were just messy. You were messy.
I was a point guard.
Throwing that.
I play point.
You were just messy. You were just messy.
I be facilitating, you know what I mean? Like that.
Big brother messy.
Yeah.
Yo, man. So Max, tell them what they need to do to help us out.
Listen, we've been appreciating love in the comments. We read every single one of them. So keep making the comments on the actual podcast if you listen right here on YouTube. But if you're new here, please subscribe. Press that like button. Mm-hmm. And don't forget, if you're listening on Podcast Land, do us a favor, all of us a favor. And please, I'm begging you, please leave us a 5-star review and write a comment about how you thought about this episode. And listen, for at least the foreseeable, at least 20 plus more podcasts we're going to be doing. Just for you guys. So we love your support. We love you guys coming every week. And this is the Endgame Podcast. My name is Max Maxwell.
I'm Rod Brown.
And once again, I am him.
Peace.
Peace.
My guys.